Welcome back to the Sound for More channel, and welcome back to another demonstration and tutorial. Today I have the pleasure to introduce you to PulseRipper, which is a fantastic modulation effect, but also it gives you these nice controls here on the right hand side for distortion and tube amplification stroke saturation. Before I continue, I would like to remind my viewers to subscribe, as it helps with growing the channel. Thank you very much. Additionally, if you would like to support what I do, please do check the instruction contained in each video description. Okay, so we are inside the UM. I have here Analog EXS as a mini polysynth, and I have selected a preset called the Sweet Dream Waves, and I have adjusted it a little bit so that there is a little bit less reverb, a little bit less gain, because otherwise it will pick inside the UM when I'm adding distortion and the tube effect, for example. Adjusted a little bit the release as well, okay, so that simple really adjustment. Now this is how PulseRipper looks like. A nice heart symbol here, because it gives you that sensation of pulsing, okay, in terms of sound, and it works particularly well with presets or sound audio input which has a sustain, because then it will apply modulation on it. Okay, you have a bypass, which is always useful. Okay, so I have activated it so you can hear first the input source. Okay, nice. So let's activate the plugin, and let's start changing here the rip, so we don't have any distortion and we don't have any tube effect. Okay, here we have the output, okay, in terms of overall gain, and we can isolate also the effect on this side, and similar on this side as well, and you see it here as well in terms of what is being disabled. You can have sync or linked to the host tempo if you want to. I actually prefer to have it here manually adjustable. Here is where you adjust the pulse, or the rate, the depth, and then the type of waveform utilized. You have access to a number of preset, factoring user preset. Great, there is an in preset, which is fantastic. Here we have a dry and wet control, okay, and then at the bottom here we have also controls for your side chain. Okay, so let's start username. Let's increase the depth. Now let's change the rate. It's quite good to have 3 different types of waveforms, particularly the top one makes it more aggressive in terms of modulation and that deep, right, on the sound. So you can hear it there. And then you have a sine type of waveform, which is more gentle, right? Let's adjust the dry wet so we make it more wet. And that is important, of course, in terms of here in terms of hearing that effect. Okay. Now let's slowly going to add, for example, tube and get that warm sound. And so you can hear it also that it has increased in amplification. We can adjust the presence here in terms of position, I should say, for the sound. So you have that effect of having the sound closer to you or further away. Of course, the closer it's to you, the louder it will be as well. And you can check here on the AUM output. Let's add some distortion. And as you can see straight away, it picked. So it's worth to actually change the position as you add some distortion or acting on the overall output or gain. Okay, so remember you have an init preset which initialize all the different parameters. And of course you have a number here of preset which you might want to use. Now, in terms of controls, as always, it allows you a lot of different AU parameters being exposed. In terms of usage, DSP is quite good. So it doesn't go up a lot in terms of percentages. As other tools in this family, so if you create another audio channel and you bring in, for example, a drum machine, like, for example, Digisticks too, and you can instantiate a multi-bus instance, okay, a PulseRipper, and let's create something simple like so. Why not? We add some snare, and we make it actually quite pronounced as a beat when the snare hits, so we have added some clap sound. So then we mute it, of course, and then we go back to PulseRipper. We disable this section, and now you can see the sidechain acting. Now you can change the threshold, attack, release, and the overall mix. Be careful when you change the mix because the amplitude will go up. So as you can hear, it's starting to pick. Okay, so let's decrease the output a bit. And of course, you can combine it with additional pulse effect, right? You can increase the depth here. Okay, so you can create some really, really great effects. Now let's change the input source and let's go for a piano. Okay, Piano Tech 8. Let's connect it again to my keyboard. And let's try some presets. Why not? Let's disable sidechain. And let's try this initial preset, like so, beautiful piano. First, we bypass the effect. Okay. You hear it gently and slowly, but let's increase the depth. And the wet. Let's introduce sidechain. Again, as always, be careful, it just picked, okay? So let's go back to the init preset, and now let me show you what it sounds like when we have something like pipa, something more vocal, right? And let's stop here AUM, so we don't need it to play again. Again, adjust it to my keyboard controller, bypass it for now, okay? And maybe these sacral. Okay, that is what it sounds like without the effect, and now let's go for it. I really like it on vocals, really nice. Let's change the waveform so it has a little bit more grit to it. You might hear some artifacts sometimes, but that's okay. Let's change the preset on pipa. A little bit less wet signal. Closer. Less tube effect. And then if you want to add a little bit more magic to it, why not add in another effect, like, for example, ghost chorus? More reverb, now more chorus. And you can go up on rate here on the chorus. Really, really great for vocals. And let's go back to the piano while we have this type of effect running or configured. Let's see what it sounds with a traditional piano, right? So quite high in terms of output. So let's decrease that a little bit. And also we go to effect here. Let's remove the reverb. Okay, from, well, let's remove all the effect, actually. Let's see what this sounds like, raw. You can still hear the chorus and also the pulsation. Let's increase the pulsation. When it's low in octave, you can really hear it. Sidechain. This makes you more feel in that pulse, that heart effect, right? Again, be careful, he's picking there, so decrease a little bit the output. But you can create some really nice effect. And because you have that modulation effect on the piano, it starts to mellow the piano in terms of attack, and it started to move more towards a pad type of sound. That is because you have the modulation happening from PulseRipper when I'm playing a note and you have the fast attack which gets delay, right? But let's remove the chorus. Let's remove the sidechain and try in some more preset. You can definitely hear this one. Quite aggressive, right? You can see the rip here is high. And then, of course, you have different ones based on the type of sounds that you want to utilize, right? So let's remove these and let's go, for example, for Eisen, okay, like so. Again, let's connect it to my keyboard controller and let's choose, for example, a bass sound. So we go up here. Here we go. Let's go for something. Let's go for this disco bass, and now let's re-enable PulseRipper and let's see what it sounds like. Breathing bass. Great. Again, he's picking a bit. You can hear the distortion here coming in. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the demonstration and tutorials, and as always, see you next time. Bye.